January 8th, 2026. An internet blackout descends over Iran. Within 48 hours, between 12,000 and 20,000 civilians are dead, the largest massacre since the 1979 revolution, and the world barely noticed. Wait until you hear how a currency collapse, a lost war, and 47 years of rage converged into 2 days of state-sanctioned slaughter. But first, you need to understand what happened in December 2025. The Iranian rial collapsed to 1.45 million per US dollar. Think about that for a second. Purchasing power down 90% in 8 years. Food prices up 72%. Inflation at 42%. On December 29th, central bank head Mohammad Reza Farzan resigned. The currency was in free fall. This is where it gets disturbing. December 28th. Protests erupt at Tehran's Grand Bazaar. Not just economic grievances, people chanting death to Khamenei, chanting long live the Shah. Within days, all 27 provinces are burning, the biggest uprising since 1979. But here's what nobody tells you. This didn't start in December. This started in June 2025. June 13th to 24th, 2025. Israel launches Operation Rising Lion. 200 fighter jets, 330 munitions. They hit Iran's nuclear program hard. And here's the twist nobody talks about. June 2020, the United States joins in. Operation Midnight Hammer. B-2 bombers obliterate Fordow, Natanz, Isfahan. Iran's nuclear program set back 2 years. The regime is wounded, isolated. Syria's Assad fell in 2024. Hezbollah leadership decimated. Hamas crippled. And this is just the beginning. Because the people protesting in December aren't just angry. They're educated, engineers, doctors, technocrats. This is what historians are calling the revolt of the technocrats. Here's where it all connects. The bazaar. In 1979, the bazaar merchants helped overthrow the Shah. They backed Khomeini. They funded the Islamic Revolution. In 2026, those same bazaar networks are striking against the theocracy they created. This is the part they don't want you to know. The bazaars where economic power meets revolutionary action. 1979, bazaar funds Khomeini's revolution. 2026, bazaar funds regime's collapse. So what does Khamenei do? December turns into January. The protests spread. Reza Pahlavi, the Shah's son, calls for protesters to seize city centers. The regime is losing control. And wounded empires don't hesitate. They obliterate. January 8, 2026. The internet goes dark across Iran. What comes next is even more shocking. January 8th and 9th. The Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps and besieged militia are unleashed. Mass killings. Systematic. Ruthless. Iran International investigates. At least 12,000 civilians killed. CBS News estimates possibly 20,000. Video evidence emerges. 400 bodies at Karizak Forensic Center alone. A hospital in Mashhad receives 150 bodies. In one night, hospitals across Iran enter crisis mode. This isn't crowd control. This is extermination. The regime's own officials eventually admit 5,000 deaths, including 500 security personnel. But that's not the crazy part. January 17th, Khamenei himself speaks. He admits several thousand killed. Now here's the thing. In 1979, the Shah hesitated. He didn't order mass killings. The military defected. Soldiers joined the revolution. The Shah fled February 11th, 1979. 2026 is different. The IRGC is loyal. Khamenei runs a theocratic security state. In 1979, the clergy united behind Khomeini. In 2026, there's no unified opposition. Same economic triggers, same bazaar. Different regime response. But think about this. Death to Khamenei becomes long live the Shah. In a second, I'll show you why this ideological shift is more significant than the death toll. The generation protesting wasn't alive under the Shah. They only know theocratic failure. 47 years of promises, 47 years of economic collapse. Reza Pahlavi represents what? Not monarchy necessarily, secular governance, economic rationality. This is 1979 in reverse. The revolution devouring its children. The bazaar that empowered Khomeini now wants him gone. The wounded empire that survived 1979 might not survive 2026. The international response is swift. Trump warns Iran against executing protesters. The UN Security Council convenes. Sanctions reimposed September 2025. Talk of US or Israeli strikes if the killing continues. And this is where it all comes together. Economic collapse always precedes revolution. France, 1789. Russia, 1917. Iran, 1979. Iran, 2026. The pattern repeats. Wounded empires lash out with maximum violence. It's their final reflex. But here's the question nobody's asking. Can a theocratic security state survive when the bazaar turns against it? January 2026 is history happening in real time. 3 possible futures. 1. The IRGC crushes this. The theocracy survives. Wounded, paranoid, brutal. 2. The regime collapses. Reza Pahlavi returns. A secular transition. 3. Iran fractures. Civil war between factions, 12,000 to 20,000 dead. The bazaar in revolt. A wounded empire bleeding out, and the world barely noticed. If you found this eye-opening, hit that like button and subscribe to ClarityLabX for more hidden history as it unfolds. Drop a comment below with your thoughts on what comes next for Iran.